Alright, settle in, because this one is not about ghouls or ghosts, but something much more unsettling. It is about a feeling. You know, that cold knot in your stomach when something just is not right, but you cannot quite put your finger on it. This happened to a friend of mine, Alex, last year. Alex had just moved into a new apartment, 3rd floor, quiet building. Perfect, right? Except for the new guy who moved in across the hall, Mr. Thorne. Never saw him without a dark hoodie, even on hot days. He was thin, had a buzz cut, and his eyes, they were just empty. The first thing that struck Alex as odd was his door. It was almost always left ajar, just a sliver. Enough to see the darkness inside, but never any light, never any sound. It was like a black hole, silently waiting. Alex just figured he was forgetful. Then, one night, Alex was heading out for an early shift around 4 a.m. The hallway was silent, barely any light from the emergency exit. And there he was, Mr. Thorne, standing perfectly still in front of his own cracked door, staring at the floor. Not moving, not breathing, it seemed. Alex said, "Morning," but he did not even flinch, just a statue. Alex walked past, heart pounding, feeling like every hair on their neck was standing on end. Like being watched by something that was not quite human. From that night on, a faint, rhythmic tapping started sometimes. Always late, always from across the hall. Not loud enough to complain about, but just enough to make Alex listen. The tapping became a twisted lullaby. Sometimes it sounded like knuckles on wood, other times like something dragging against plaster right where the shared wall met Alex's bedroom. Alex tried to rationalize it. Old building, settling pipes, who knew? But the feeling of being watched never left. Every time Alex looked through the peephole, Mr. Thorne's door was shut tight. But then, an hour later, it would be cracked open again. Just that sliver of black. One evening, Alex found something on their doormat, a single, tarnished brass button, the kind you would see on an old uniform. No note, no explanation, just there. Alex threw it away, thinking it was probably some kid's prank. But the next day, there was a small, smooth, grey river stone. Then another day, a dried, twisted leaf. Always something small, mundane, but placed with a chilling precision. It was not random. It felt like an offering, or a marker. Alex started seeing Mr. Thorne more often in the hall, sometimes just standing by his door, sometimes just staring directly at Alex's door. Never moving, never speaking, just staring. And then Alex found it, a thin, deliberate scratch mark on their door frame near the lock. Like someone had tested the wood, or maybe marked it. It was not an accident. It was a message. One night, Alex woke up to a sound that made their blood run cold. It was not the tapping. It was a slow, deliberate scraping sound, like metal on wood, and it was coming from right outside their door. Alex held their breath, heart hammering against their ribs. Slowly, carefully, Alex crept to the peephole. What they saw made them gasp. Mr. Thorne was there, kneeling, his back to the door, hunched over, moving his hand in a slow, precise motion at the very bottom of Alex's door. He was carving something. Alex fumbled for their phone, hands shaking, dialing 9. Just as the operator's voice crackled through the phone, the scraping stopped. A faint whisper, too low to understand, seemed to drift from the other side of the door. Then, a quiet, horrifying tap. Not on the door, on the peephole itself. Alex looked again. Mr. Thorne was no longer kneeling. He was standing, incredibly close to the door, his single unblinking eye pressed against the peephole, staring directly back. It was wide, lifeless, and filled with a silent, terrifying knowing. Alex screamed, dropping the phone, stumbling backward. The eye remained, a dark void in the small circle, for what felt like an eternity, before slowly, sickeningly, it pulled away. The police arrived quickly, but Mr. Thorne was gone. They checked his apartment. It was empty. Not a single stick of furniture, no clothes, no dishes. It was like no one had ever lived there. On Alex's door, at the very bottom, just as Alex had seen, a symbol was carved. Not just random scratches, but a precise, intricate, ancient-looking mark, unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The police took photos, took a report, but they could not find a trace of him. Alex moved out that same week, could not stand to be in that building, could not stand to walk past that empty apartment, could not stand the thought of that door. To this day, Alex still sees that unblinking eye in their nightmares, still feels the phantom itch of that symbol on their door. Was Mr. Thorne a real person? Or was he something else? A shadow wearing a hoodie, leaving behind strange offerings and an impossible mark? Alex never found out, and probably never will. But they know this much: some doors are better left unopened, and some eyes, once seen, can never be forgotten.